Okay, so we're Phil and H, and we're off on our travels for 12 months, leaving behind the UK, as many others do nowadays from the UK, to travel around Asia, in particular Southeast Asia. So I want to introduce us over some of the next few episodes that we're going to put out on YouTube, what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and some tips and travel advice from new travellers and not old travellers, but we're in our 30s and our 40s, so we've got some experience behind us, worldly experience, and how we are navigating the travel world. First of all, an easy way for us to come from Grantham is to take the train down to Gatwick. We came down to Gatwick rather than Heathrow this time to jump on some different flights, which are Turkmenistan Airlines, which I'll come to shortly. I'd like to mention a little bit about the packing gear that we chose, and we felt for seamless travel experiences, choosing the right gear was essential. We took over 12 months picking the right bags. Were they right? So far, we think we've chosen very well. We wanted something light, compact, easy to carry around, and something that would last as well. So we've chosen the Samsonite Eco Diver range. The one that we've chose was the smaller one that included the backpack straps in case we need them. So far we haven't on our journeys. And we've also gone with our Borealis North Face backpack, which offer a balance of style, durability, which as I said was very important to us, and practicability for being able to pack a lot of things inside them in a small bag that's very comfortable to carry on your back. On our initial flight from London over to Bangkok, we chose Turkmenistan Airlines. The reason for it being was value versus comfort. And while Turkmenistan Airlines, they do offer very competitive pricing. In fact, we found these flights for only £500, purchasing them direct from the Turkmenistan website. And knowing that the actual aircraft is reasonably new, made these the perfect choice for us. What we weren't overly concerned about was the food, which I must say isn't great, but it's acceptable. And the legroom was something else that for us is important, as I'm 6'1", and Turkmenistan Airlines offer a brilliant legroom, more than enough in economy class. Here obviously seeing some of their food that they have with their nice spam. They did serve up a lot of spam, which wasn't overly nice, and for me, I didn't eat it. Also couldn't eat that pudding as well. The bread there that you see, not at all. But some of the other pieces, they're okay, such as the cheese in their sandwich. So if budget is a priority for you, then these are very well worth a look at. Something that does come up an awful lot is, can you fly Turkmenistan Airlines and land at Ashgabat, their airport in Turkmenistan, without a visa? Yes, you can. You don't need a transit visa. And again, this is a reason why we chose these flights. It's a quick stop off and layover, 1.5 hours before leaving again for Bangkok. So basically it's 6 hours and 5.5 hours. A nice simple flight. One of the other things to remember on Turkmenistan Airlines is their in-flight entertainment doesn't really exist. Wanted to talk about arrival in Bangkok and the efficient transit and accommodation methods that you have in Bangkok. As most of you who have been there will know, it is brilliant, it's fantastic. And upon arrival in Bangkok, you can really easily just go downstairs to the bottom level and use their train system, which takes you straight into the main part of the city if you catch it all the way in. Obviously there's stops during that where you can get off at other places. Once we got there to the end of the line, we just jumped in a Bolt car and headed down to our hotel, which initially we chose the Prince Palace Hotel, and for us personally, we found it the perfect location in Bangkok. It's near to Khao San Road, all the temples. It's in a quiet area. It's got within really easy walks. You've got a number of markets and a number of malls, including the MBK mall. And we just found it a great base for exploring the city. We do like walking, so for us, everything was in easy walk. I mean, a couple of kilometers and you were there, including things like Chinatown. I mean, obviously you could get around other ways by tuk-tuk, which is our way that we would not use. We found the tuk-tuks to be extremely expensive compared to a Bolt car, for example. Tuk-tuks would ask for anywhere between 300 to 500, whereas the Bolt would roughly be around about 80 baht. So there is a big difference inside there. I'm sure that you can barter harder with the tuk-tuks. It just wasn't what we wanted to do, was barter with everybody just when we've arrived in Bangkok. So we really like the hotel, food around there. We found this particular food location. This is down one of the back streets, and I do mean really down the back streets, so do look out on Google Maps. You'll definitely find great places to go and eat, and that cost us just over 100 baht to feed both of us with super big portions. So really good, really happy with that. This is us then visiting the MBK mall and touring around there, which we found a really nice mall. It's expensive, and there's some great things to see and do. Depends whether that's what you like. Many people obviously go there, but we did find other locations that were a lot cheaper compared to that. Jumping in the gym for a quick session there, my lovely wonderful wife, and just looking out at some of the views and their pools that they had of the Prince Palace Hotel. So something else that we found that was really important was to get connected, mobile phones connected as soon as we arrived in location. Previously, I've always done this just through using my UK SIM and then spending anywhere between £1.50 to £7.50 per day. It's a very expensive way of doing it, and great if you're only touring around for maybe 5 days a week, 2 weeks maximum. But obviously for us, we're over in Thailand for an initial month. So strongly advised to get those local SIM cards down from the 7-Eleven. They're really easy and simple. Just take your passport down, hand over. Ours was 200 baht, and we got double the amount of data. We actually got 60 gigabytes, which we're still using now. I've only gone through 20 gigabytes and we've been here now for 20 days, so that's been amazing. Really great and seamless connectivity. If obviously you don't have a spare SIM port, then you can just move over to an eSIM, and obviously if you only have the one SIM port, then you'll have to decide whether you wish to take the SIM card out and replace it with a new one. Just try not to use your UK one. Another way that we'd like to talk, and another thing, is about the transport throughout, which I mentioned with the tuk-tuks, but here we see us travelling on some boats, and these are the canals through Bangkok. They're absolutely stunning waterways to get around. Yes, they can smell a little bit, but you tell me which part of Bangkok doesn't smell a little bit, and actually you get very used to it, or we did at least. You are going to travel with a lot of locals, as it's their preferred form of transport to get around, especially from these locations, but it's really easy. Just find your way down to the canal, find the local pier. A boat will pull up normally within about 5 or 10 minutes. Probably the 10 minutes was the maximum wait that we had. Jump on, and then you're straight down to wherever you wish to get off. And obviously you can just follow yourself on Google Maps now that you've got your SIM card. You can see us at one of their little markets. This was more central in Bangkok down here, grabbing a smoothie on our way. And now one of the things that we went to go and do is go and get our injections. We did get injections back in the UK. We spent £450 for both of us getting rabies injections. Wish we hadn't. Absolutely stupid. We've been told multiple times now by some other doctors and over in Asia, it just really isn't important. If you get rabies, you've got rabies anyway. Really, if you get rabies, you have to get to hospital within 24 hours. Most hospitals, unless you're going way off the beaten track, you're going to find a hospital within 24 hours. So I really wouldn't worry too much about rabies, in our personal opinion. So we actually went down there to get Japanese encephalitis injections. We were told in the UK you needed 2 to last you, I believe, 1 or 2 years. Over in Bangkok, they would only give us 1 injection. It cost us £50 for both of us, whereas in the UK it was going to cost £200 for the both of us to get those injections. So yeah, this is again a point from us is just arrange it in the UK, which is what we did. Get yourself over to Bangkok, go and get that injection. Would I recommend it? Personally, yes. There are other injections that you can go and get. We had all the ones from the NHS, as you would do standardly, and we're very, very happy that we got those, just those rabies ones that we're a little bit less unhappy about. Obviously, traffic over in Bangkok is not that bad, really. You just have to wait for either the lights to go, maybe follow someone else if you're feeling nervous while crossing the road, follow a local across the road. Alternatively, just go for it. Traffic do tend to stop for you once they see you getting on that crossing. Make sure to cross at a crossing where possible. Back here we've got the another mall that we went to, and just showing you the driver of the boats here that we went on. So I wanted to talk about next why Bangkok, and we chose Bangkok because it was the easiest travel hub to get into Asia, to start traveling, and as many people will tell you, Thailand is a really easy place to travel around. It's probably the best out of all the Asian nations, the easiest to get on with people, the most English spoken, and so it's a very vibrant city, and it offers so much, you know, an immersive experience with all its rich cultural heritage that it's got. They're bustling street markets that are just amazing. Obviously the temples there, and it's just so much to see and do. Again, if you're a food enthusiast, it's a really great way to start your Asia trip, as food is in abundance with really good, really tasty food. I'm going to be honest with you, we did get poorly, but the only reason why we got poorly is because we ate Western food. We had a couple of burgers, and they didn't make us feel well at all. In fact, they were the most expensive thing that we had the entire time we were there. And so since then, we have just stuck to Thai food, and we've been absolutely fine. No issues at all. Feeling great. So yeah, Bangkok's a great way to start. Following Bangkok, we then headed down to Rayong, which I'll come on to in a little bit. But I apologise if I'm going off-piste while talking to you and away from some of the things that are inside this video that you're watching at the moment. But I'd like to cover off something else, which is regarding airport lounges. We chose to take out a premium credit card, and the reason for that was we felt that we were going to be in a lot of airport lounges, and also we would be getting there very early and wanted to wait somewhere other than just sitting down. And what I did is I worked out financially whether it would be worth it to get one of these credit cards that you pay for annually. And it worked out that it actually was cheaper to own the credit card than it was to stop at all the airports and use their facilities, you know, such as dining with them, eating their food, drinking, etc. So yeah, we did go that way, and so far we've been very happy that we have. I will feed back to you on the later video whether that's still the same thing. And now the coffee culture. The coffee culture, I didn't realise was massive over in Bangkok, and in fact all of Thailand. Everywhere is coffee, coffee, coffee. And if you like your coffees, you can have coffee any which way you want it. Just go out there and go and find it. Look at that. an espresso soda. Who would have thought? An odd thing, I would have thought, but I am trying new coffees. One of my favourites so far, actually, is not a coffee, it is a Thai tea. Beautiful, green, very, very nice. Really, really refreshing, I find it. H, my lovely wife, she just likes the coffee. It's always got to be hot, never a cold coffee. She says that cannot be done, and so far has not gone near one. Again, this is us just travelling on the tuk-tuks, and we took them a couple of times, as I mentioned, very expensive. But here is us on the waterways. This is the main river through Bangkok, which we took just over a 2-hour cruise on. We got it through Vieta, and I must say I would definitely advise you to go through some of the apps that you can get, such as Vieta, or I believe Get My Booking. There is others out there, as they do tend to be much cheaper than just going down on the day and going looking to purchase. If you are going to purchase direct on the day though, do go to the affiliated ticket offices and not the people selling them on the side of the streets, as you will pay 2 or 3 times the amount we found. This particular boat cruise was lovely. We met lovely people on the waterways, saw some incredible things. Shipyards, we saw the Royals, all of their boats, and it was really, really relaxing. Very, very, very nice trip indeed in the afternoon, and you get to see some of these monitor lizards. They were pretty big, but I have seen bigger before, and I'm sure on our trip we will find much larger, but as you can see, they can be some size. Here we see the carp outside one of the temples. No one is allowed to fish out here, and of course the fish, they know this cannot be fished. As such, they gather here in abundance. And they are pretty big. Some of them are sort of 3, can be up to 4 feet in length. They really were quite friendly. I didn't stick my hand in the water, and I didn't test out how friendly they'd want to be. But as you can see, there is literally hundreds upon hundreds of them just swimming around. I'm going to let the rest of the video finish out with some nice chilled music and let you watch the rest of this boat trip, and then watch us catch our buses down to Raymond. Thank you for watching, thank you for enjoying, and we'll be back again soon. Peace.